up, everyone, and welcome back to another Flix Friyay! And this time we are talking about the movie Bumblebee, and I'm happy to say I think this movie was fantastic. A great return to form. You know, I saw the first movie, obviously, and I think there was one along the way I missed, but I remember the first movie was great. The second movie was okay, but it was kind of forgettable. I don't really remember much about it. The third movie had some changes that just confused me. I mean, they got rid of Megan Fox and brought in a new character, and they never really explained what happened. We're just kind of supposed to accept it. And then the next one that I saw was one where they changed the entire cast. And so, seeing this movie, now I didn't see it in theaters when it first came out because I didn't think it was going to be any good, honestly. I was kind of sick of Transformers. I thought they'd kind of worn out their welcome, but this movie is a return to form, and it is right up there with the first one. Now, let's go ahead and go through the couple of cons I have. I have that they only spend a short amount of time on Cybertron, given it's longer than the other movies have. I mean, and the time there is good. There is like a battle and stuff, but it's very similar, I think, to the Terminator series, how they keep bringing us back to Earth, modern day, when a lot of fans of the Terminators, you know, they're fine with that being in 1 and 2 and so on, but they want one now that takes place in the future with that war against the machines, and I think that's sort of how Transformers fans see, you know, their Transformers series. They want to see one taking full advantage of Cybertron, a full-out, you know, war movie on Cybertron for the next one they do, or in a couple. But this movie is, I would say, the next best thing. The other con, though, is that John Cena's character is a little bit of a character. I mean, he's a little stereotypical, like, just like the military guy. But for this type of movie, I think it works well. It's an action movie. It's, you know, it's fun. It's not particularly deep. You're not going into it for the characters necessarily. You're just going to it to have a good time. So even though I put it in the con section, I think it's overall pretty good, and it still fits. The pros vastly outweigh the cons, though. One, the setting. I think it was like 1987 or 88, you know, late 80s, so the setting's great. You have all these great cars, you have great music to go into it. You even have great references. You have referencing of the Breakfast Club, you know, that ending where he, you know, puts his arm up. I mean, that's just an iconic movie ending, and they referenced that, and that was awesome. Definitely didn't expect that. The humor actually landed quite a bit. You know, the humor, I think, has pretty much always been strong, except for the last one I saw where they changed the whole cast. 1 through 3, I still remember the humor hitting pretty well, and there's no difference here. The humor is great still. All the characters do good, all the actors do good in their roles. Charlie, even John Cena, who I put in the con section. For this type of movie, again, he's still pretty good. But the rest of the characters are really good regardless. So I didn't put them in the con section. I thought they were just really good. And Bumblebee himself is the shining star, obviously. He's great, you know, and it gives you a little more backstory on Bumblebee. It tells you how he, you know, loses his voice, how he gets the radio to work, and, you know, starts learning how to use the radio to talk for him, and that's really cool to see. And it also is, another pro of mine is that it's pretty malleable to the Transformers timeline. Going into this, and even after this, I was pretty confused, because at first it seemed like a prequel, and then I heard it was going to be a reboot, and after the movie I thought, well, this fits in pretty well as a prequel, and I would like it to be a prequel, because I still really like the first Transformers movie. Well, when I did some research into it, it did start off as a prequel, and then later they said, oh, we're going to acknowledge this as a reboot. But with how it sets things up, even all the way to the end, it fits as a prequel. It really does. So If you want to see this as a soft reboot, that's fine. If you want to see this as a prequel, that's also fine. Both ways work, and I think they pulled that off really well. I think that was really cool. All in all, I'm going to give Bumblebee an 8 out of 10. That's a first edition Playboy magazine in my book. This movie was a really good time. It's on Hulu. I'm not sure if it's on Netflix. I saw it on Hulu. If you have a Hulu subscription, or if it's on Netflix or Amazon Prime, I would highly suggest watching this when you just want a movie to have some fun with. You know, you don't want something too deep. Maybe you want to watch something while you're eating or something, or with some friends. This is a great movie to watch. I think you're going to have a great time. If you enjoyed the first Transformers movie, and then you kind of noticed it was kind of going downhill a little bit, this movie's a good return to form, and I think you'll find a lot of enjoyment out of it. Definitely worth a watch. With all that being said, go ahead, slap that like button, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell, and make sure you're notified when these videos are put up. Obviously, these ones, are going to be put up pretty consistently every single Friday. So, yeah, definitely go ahead, subscribe, like, comment what you think of this movie. Maybe comment your ranking of the Transformers movies if you've seen. You don't even have to have seen them all. Whichever ones you've seen, go ahead and rank them in the comments. I'm eager to find out what some of your lists look like compared to mine. And so, with all that being said, I'll see you guys next time on Flix Friyay.